Making decisions as a family sounds like a great idea, but often can be pretty challenging when you're working with brothers and sisters and spouses and moms and dads and mother-in-laws and stepmoms, and especially when you're talking about things like placement, because everybody's on a different page with like how they feel about going to an assisted living community or going to a board and care. I find that three factors really drive this. One is how willing are family members able to, give up their own time, maybe even sometimes quit their own job and become a full-time caregiver. Of course, this has a whole bunch of factors where, one kid is no longer even with the other kid that is providing this care unless they're splitting this care. It gets complicated with family dynamics, right? You can imagine, and you've probably seen this some. The second thing is really looking at what type of condition is your parent in. Obviously, starting with cognitively, when you have parents that are suffering from dementia, you've got a whole laundry list of things that you need to be concerned about, not just forgetfulness, but making bad decisions, leaving the stove on, going out and driving the car, any factors that could really create a dangerous situation for them and others. Also, their mobility. Are they able to move around? Are they a big fall risk? Falls are, our biggest indicator to end up in the hospital and end up in placement, not by design, not with this in mind, right? This is where you end up in a place as opposed to choosing a place. And then, of course, things like grooming, showering, going to the bathroom, all those pieces, of course, are really, really important to people's health, but often get ignored when they're by themselves, or even with a family caregiver. Doing these things are not the easiest thing, and maintaining people's dignity isn't always that easy. And then, of course, there's the psychological factors of having depression and anxiety and just being shut in the house too long, not really going out and seeing enough people, being lonely. So all these factors are really important to kind of understanding the medical condition, but then it all leads to this financial decision. How much money do we have? How long do we think our parent is going to live? And do we have the wherewithal to make a good decision? And that's where I usually do a pretty good job, I think, of helping people making these decisions, kind of like looking at your assets, looking at the income, looking at the expenses, and saying, okay, well, if you went to this place, then you wouldn't have to pay all these other things. Maybe you could tap into the equity of your home. And anyway, there's lots of conversations and lots of discussion that can happen. And again, dealing with all the different family dynamics is no picnic in the park, right? But I'm pretty good at that. So give me a call if you'd like to talk more about what your options are, and see if we could put together a strategy to not only keep your parents safe, but also to make a really good decision that everybody's happy with. All right? Talk to you soon.